If I was a millionaire, I would buy this whole city. Now tell me, does this sentence sound right to you? Maybe, but here is the thing. It's actually wrong. The correct sentence is, if I were a millionaire, I would buy the whole city. And if you have ever wondered why were and why not was, you are exactly in the right place. By the end of this video, you will never mix these two up again, I promise. Here is the simplest way I can explain this. If I was lives in the real world, things that actually happened or might have happened. If I were lives an imaginary world, things that are not true, not real, just hypothetical. Think of it like this. Was is equal to fact, were is equal to fantasy. One word takes you into reality, the other takes you into your imagination. Let me prove it with two sentences side by side. If I was rude to you at the meeting, I am sorry. The meeting actually happened. The speaker is not sure of their behavior. Real world. If I were a cat, I would sleep 16 hours a day. The speaker is not a cat. They will never be a cat. Pure imagination. That's why we use were. In English, we have something called subjunctive mood. It is a special verb form we use when we are talking about things that are imaginary, wished for, contrary to reality, hypothetical. In the subjunctive mood, we use were for all subjects. I, he, she, it, even when you would normally say was. Instead of she was here, imaginary, if she were here. Instead of if he was a smarter, hypothetical, if he were smarter. The rule is clean. Subjunctive is equal to were, always. These are situations that simply cannot be true. If I were invisible, I'd sit on every board meeting. If I were the last person on the earth, I'd finally get a table at that restaurant. You are not invisible. You are not the last person on the earth. Pure imagination. Use were. This is the most common use, and one you will use almost every day. If I were you, I wouldn't sign that contract without a lawyer. If I were in your position, I'd ask for a raise. You are not that person. You cannot be. You can never be. So it's always if you were. So it's always if I were you. Never if I was. When you wish for something that is currently not true. I wish I were taller. You are not tall enough. It's a wish, not reality. She wishes she were living close to her family. She isn't. It is a wish. Wish plus were always go together when the situation is unreal. When you are imagining a reality that is the opposite of what's true. For example, if the weather were better, we would be having a picnic right now. It's raining, opposite of better. If he were more organized, the whole team would benefit. He is not organized, opposite fact. You use if I was when referring to a real situation in the past, but you are uncertain whether it happened. For example, if I was too late at dinner last night, I apologize. Maybe you were loud, maybe you were not, but dinner actually happened. If I was in that photo, I genuinely don't remember. The photo exists. You are not just sure if you were in it. If I was supposed to reply to that email, I missed it. The email is real. Your memory of it is just uncertain. Ask yourself, is this situation real or imaginary? Real plus uncertain was, imaginary plus impossible were. So, this is the comparison table. If I was, if I were. If I was is used for real but uncertain past situation. If I was late, I am sorry. If I was rude, tell me. Fact based, unsure. While if I were is used for imaginary, hypothetical, present or future fantasy. If I were faster, I would win. If I were a doctor, I'd help. If I were faster, I'd win. If I were a doctor, I'd help. Contrary to fact. If I was you, I'd leave. Wrong. The correct sentence is, if I were you, I'd leave. You can never be someone else. Always use were. If I was taller, I could play basketball. Wrong. If I were taller, I could play basketball. I wish I was somewhere else right now. Wrong. I wish I were somewhere else right now. Correct. Wishes about unreal situation need were. In casual spoken English, many native speakers say if I was, even in hypothetical situations. You will hear it all the time. But in formal writing, IELTS, TOEFL, job interviews, and professional settings, always use if I were for hypothetical situations. It shows you know your grammar. Alright, now is the time to test yourself. Fill in the blanks with was or were, then check your answer. How many did you get right? Drop your score in the comments. this up nice and clean. If I were is always used for imagination, wishes, advice, contrary to fact. Subjunctive mood and if I was is always used for real past situations you are unsure about. Normal past tense. One tiny word, two completely different meanings. Now you know the difference. If this lesson helped you, hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow. Subscribe if you want more grammar lessons and drop your quiz score in the comments below. See you in the next lesson. Take care.